Hello everyone, my name is Gabriela Cuevas and this is my presentation on the SMART approach to goal achievement for the CWI 101 TED Talks course by Professor Kim Shepard for summer 2022. Alright, first I'd like to begin with the importance of goal setting and goal achievement and specifically the SMART approach. So, a critical role in leadership involves goal setting. Specifically, SMART goals set you up for success by making goals more guided and approachable. This method helps you think deeper about your goals, gives you a sense of direction, and helps in organizing your thought processes to ultimately reach your goals. Here I have included an image of a quote that stood out to me by Mark Victor Hansen. It reads, "By recording your dreams and goals on paper, you set in motion the process of becoming the person you most want to be. Put your future in good hands, your own." Whether you are a student, teacher, or whatever it may be, setting goals is always important because it gives you almost like a sense of purpose and overall leads you to success. Now that we know the importance of taking a SMART approach towards goals, what are SMART goals? So each letter in SMART stands for something. Beginning here with the letter S. The letter S stands for specific. So just briefly explaining it. So what exactly will you accomplish is something you want to ask yourself for this section. The letter M is for measurable. So how will you know when you will reach your goal? How will you know when that goal is met? The A for achievable or acceptable. Do you have the resources or what is needed? The R is for realistic, which is pretty straightforward. So like, why is it important? Why is it relevant? And finally, the T for time. So when will the goal be achieved? This is a section where time, like time and dates will come into play. So getting more specific with each letter here, I have provided a closer look at their meaning, beginning with specific. So here you want to define your goals in specific detail, be as specific as possible. Make it meaningful. Make your goals meaningful for you and think about the future as well. So keep in mind in the long run how you will be benefited or what these goals mean to you. You will also want to target specific areas of improvement or things you've been avoiding or putting off. We often tend to procrastinate, especially with leading such busy lives as students or teachers, anything, or having a job. And we tend to put things off. So I think that one of the main um, paths to success and achieving goals is to put forward things that you have been putting off or avoiding. Okay, next, the M for measurable. So um, this is where you want to provide a way to evaluate your goals and also to keep record of your progress and set challenges as you go. So you also want to make sure this is something that you can keep track of daily. Make sure your goals are uh, goals that you can keep track of daily. So whether that be through apps, through writing things down, or anything like that, just make sure it is something you can keep track of daily. Now for achievable. So for this part, you want to be willing to stay committed. So commitment is very important. I know it can be hard once again as leading such busy lives to really put all of that energy into these goals that seem so simple yet so difficult at times. But just be willing to commit. I advise starting off with smaller goals than working your way towards your bigger goals. And make sure the goal can actually be achieved according to your deadlines or your resources and anything that comes before the A and even after. So just make sure that it is something that can actually be achieved. And moving on to realistic. This is once again pretty straightforward. You want to be honest with yourself in this section. You want to keep in mind questions, like ask yourself questions such as like, is this goal really worthwhile? Is it worth it? Like, why am I doing this? And what will you get out of those goals that will make you a better person? Because that is ultimately, what is very important when setting goals is making sure that when you reach them or as you're going through them, that you are becoming a better person or that it's doing something positive towards you or your surroundings or your life in general. So just be very realistic with it, and that way you won't be disappointed if you somehow don't reach your goal or meet your expectations. Now, finally, for time. So, give yourself deadlines even for small tasks. That way, you will put into practice meeting deadlines and all of that for your bigger goals. Um, you want to have definite times and dates, but also do not punish yourself if it goes a bit beyond your expectations. So it is okay to fail. And of course, in your first time of practicing setting SMART goals and taking this approach, you may fail, you may not meet your expectations or do things as quickly as you think. But that is completely okay, just as long as you hold on to your goals and keep pushing forward. You want to keep in mind when do you want to achieve your goals, so setting times and dates in any way that is beneficial for you. All right, so how to approach. So the first tip that I have for you is to write down your goals. Keep in mind who, what, where, and why. Keep in mind your priorities and responsibilities. For each goal, make it SMART, so just follow what we have just discussed. And the most important, get started. All right, so it doesn't matter how you um, approach your goals, like how whether you write down your goals or you have them like in your mind, just as long as you have them. So I actually personally love writing down my goals, writing down everything, like in a journal. And I really do recommend it. I feel like putting my thoughts on paper really makes me see it better. Um, so you want to write down your goals. Keep in mind, like I said, who, what, where, and why. Keep in mind your priorities and responsibilities. For example, if you are a student, your priority is most likely going to be, meeting your assignment deadlines, having good grades, keeping a certain GPA, things like that. Or if you're into fitness, and maybe your priority is your health and just, keeping a healthy diet or anything like that. So everyone's goals are different and their priorities are different. So just keep those in mind and make sure to implement them when writing down or approaching your SMART goals. And like I said, getting started is always the first step, so just go for it. All right, another tip I have for smartly approaching goals is to find your motivation. Everyone is different and finds their motivation through different things or ways of thinking. Some ideas I have listed here are what have helped me, which includes journaling, as I mentioned previously, so writing things down. Um, let's see, having a vision board, as you see on the right, having like a vision board, like a bulletin board where you pin like things that from magazines or anything like that, things you print off, such as like phrases, quotes, images, just symbols, things like that, that will keep you motivated and inspired that you can look at every day and just always have it present. Um, or you can always go online, such as like on Pinterest or anything like that, and just look up inspirational images or quotes and things like that, and just have them on there if that's what you prefer. TED Talks, watching videos in general, anything like that really has helped me. Actually, through this course of CWI 101 TED Talks, I have become more engaged with TED Talks and listening to people who have experience, who have wisdom, and just listen to their advice. And that has kept me very motivated. So I really recommend that. It is a great way to keep motivated. Next, you want to check in with your progress. So, keeping in touch with your goals and the journey towards reaching them is very important. By doing so, you will be able to track your progress to see how far or close you are to your goal, plus make any changes or revisions to your goals or actions if you aren't seeing the changes you want to see. I personally find myself always changing my goals and having to almost like update what I have in mind, so it is very important to check in with your progress. All right, the overall benefits or outcomes. Here I have listed a few. So you will essentially at the end have created a more efficient way of using your day, and you will find yourself less stressed and a lot more successful through taking the SMART approach to reaching your goals. You also gain organizational skills because you're going like step by step with your goals. So that will ultimately make you more um, organized in other things, as well as like having aligned your goals, having known what you want. It keeps your mind focused, and then student discipline, of course, among other things. It helps you see your short-term and long-term goals. Um, of course, productivity. Having goals will probably always keep you productive because you're always going to be working towards something, whether it's small or big, but you will always be working towards something and feel productive, especially once you have achieved those goals. And it also brings a much needed practical reality to distinguishing your effort from results. Okay, now that we have reached the end, I have here a quiz for everyone listening into the presentation. The following questions to the quiz are number one, what does the A stand for in SMART? Number two, list two ways to find motivation for goal achieving. Number three, give an example of a SMART goal as related to college. So I hope everyone can answer those questions after listening to this presentation, and just keep those questions in mind. Okay, moving forward, these are my references for this presentation. All right. That concludes my presentation on the SMART approach to goal achievement. Thank you all for taking the time to listen and watch my presentation, and good luck with your SMART approach to reaching your goals.